Let's take a few minutes to go over some of the most commonly used features in Onshape using its touch interface: the Extrude, Revolve, Sweep, Shell, and Fillets and Chamfers. Let's start by adding an Extrude feature to this design. This model has a sketch profile at the top of the part, which I'll use to create the Extrude feature. To begin, I'll select the Extrude tool from the toolbar, and I'll use the Precision Select tool to select the 3 sketch faces of the profile. Now I can choose which body type will be created using this feature. When I tap on the Result Body Operation type box, I have the option to select New, which will create a new part in the model using this feature. I can select Add to add material to the part. I can select Remove to remove material from the part. Or if I choose Intersect, the only remaining body will be the shared volume between this feature and the existing model. For this example, I'll choose the Add option. For the End type, I'll leave it set to Blind for now. I can drag the arrow to adjust the depth of the Extrude feature, or I can also enter in a specific depth. I'll type a value of 0.25 inches. And if the preview of the extrusion is pointing in the wrong direction, I can choose the Opposite Direction checkbox to switch it. With these options set, I'll tap the check mark to complete the Extrude feature. Next, let's move on and take a look at a Revolve feature. In this model, I'll be using the sketch profile shown above the rod to create the Revolve feature. To begin, I'll touch the Revolve icon on the toolbar, then choose the sketch profile. As a side note, you can always tell what selection box is active by the blue highlight. At this point, I'll activate the Revolve Axis selection box and use the Precision Select tool to select the axis to revolve about. The preview appears, and instead of adding this to the existing part, I'll use the New option so that it's created as a new part in the model. The feature list updates to show 2 parts included in this part studio. For Revolve type, I'll set it to Full so that the revolve spans an entire 360-degree rotation. But if I expand the menu, you can see there are options for symmetric or 1 and 2 directions. I'll tap the check to complete the feature. Once a feature is created, if you want to come back and make changes to it, you can tap the ellipse icon next to the feature. Lastly, if I just touch the Revolve feature graphically to select it, I can bring up the context menu by tapping on the screen with 2 fingers and edit the feature from here. I'll make a quick change and touch the check mark to finish. Moving on, let's take a look at a sweep feature. Using this part, I'll create a sweep feature using the existing semicircular face as well as the sketch curve. To begin, I'll touch the sweep icon. Paying attention to which selection window is active, I'll select the end face of the part as the region to sweep. Then activate the Sweep Path selection box and choose the curved sketch as the path. I'll be sure to change the body type from New to Add to keep the design as a single part. Since I'm adding material to an existing part, I must specify the merge scope so that the sweep is merged with the existing part. I'll tap the check to complete the feature. And the sweep feature is complete and is merged with the existing part. At this point, let's move along and take a quick look at a shell feature. Notice in the features list, this part studio actually has 2 parts, which can both be shelled in a single feature. I'll touch the Shell tool to activate it. I'll select the large face of the first part, then the smaller face of the second part, and set the shell thickness to 0.15 inches. And I'll tap the check to complete the shell feature. Before wrapping up, let's go through one more example of using fillets and chamfers here in Onshape's touch interface. So this model will have fillets added to the edges along the top face, as well as the outer edges of the two vertical tabs. Then chamfers will be added to both sides of the two holes in the vertical tabs. To begin, I'll launch the fillet. And since I want all edges of the top face to be filleted, I'll make sure that the tangent propagation checkbox is enabled. And when I touch the top face of the part, all of the tangent edges are filleted in the preview. With the selection window still active, I'll touch the faces on the front of the tabs. And set the fillet radius to 0.1 inches. I'll tap the check to complete the feature, and the fillets are created along the top face of the part. To add chamfers to the two holes on the tabs, I'll enable the chamfer tool. Then use the Precision Select tool to select the two inner cylindrical faces. Now I can choose from 3 chamfer types: equal distance, 2 distances, and distance angle. For this chamfer type, I'll choose equal distance. Then change the chamfer distance to 0.1 inches. And tap the check to complete the chamfer. This completes adding all of the fillets and chamfers to the model. All of these features were added with simple touches, making it easy to modify and manipulate models.